everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is my 11-week pregnancy update. I'm so excited. If you do not follow our daily vlogging channel, then this is news to you. So surprise, I'm pregnant. This cat is bothering the camera, so I'm gonna hold her for a minute. I knew I wanted to do pregnancy updates on this channel, and I did some research. Well, I just looked up stuff on YouTube, and it seemed like a lot of people started at 11 weeks. So I thought that's what I would do. During these updates, I'm gonna talk about like my symptoms, any products I've been using, and definitely my appointments and stuff, because I am high risk because I do have epilepsy. So obviously it makes appointments and stuff a little bit different. So I'll be talking about that. That way, if any of you out there are pregnant or you're planning to get pregnant and you have epilepsy, you'll maybe get a little bit of an idea of what it's like. I have a lot of stuff to talk about since this is the first update, so I'm gonna get started. Please ignore Riley. She is like wanting to be all up in this video. Right now, baby E is the size of a lime. First up, let's talk symptoms. I have been super lucky in that I have not had any morning sickness whatsoever. I have had like food aversions, and there's been food that I just did not want. Like the sound of it just makes me sick, like just thinking about eating it. Unfortunately, one of those things is my green smoothies that I have in the mornings. So I've had to kind of switch up my morning breakfast routine because I could not get an entire green smoothie down. Like, it just makes me feel so sick. Thank goodness I've just had like cravings and food aversions. I haven't had any morning sickness whatsoever, which has been such a blessing. I've noticed that my pregnancy symptoms and even cravings have been a lot like my mom's when she was pregnant with me. She didn't have morning sickness. She craved some of the same stuff that I've been craving. There's a cat messing with the camera again. So it's kind of neat because I have like her to tell me, well, this is what I was experiencing, and I'm kind of having the same thing. The one really bad symptom I've had so far is fatigue, extreme fatigue. Like, I go to bed, sleep really late, still need a nap during the day, and I just feel so exhausted that the thought of like taking a shower sounds so tiring. And I feel terrible because I feel like the laziest person in the world right now because I'm not doing a whole lot. But everyone keeps telling me it will go away when the second trimester starts, so fingers crossed I get some energy back. Now, like I said, I got really lucky with not having morning sickness, but unfortunately I am very, very prone to stretch marks. So I'm already using this Body Mary stretch marks and scars defense cream, and I love it. It has been great. I did some research to kind of figure out which stretch mark cream would work the best for me, and this seems like the best one. And I have to say that it definitely works because it has like faded any stretch marks that I already had, and I've only been using it for like a few weeks. So this is amazing. If you are prone to stretch marks, I would definitely recommend this. As far as pregnancy workouts go, I have been doing Ballet Baby, which if you have been around on my channel for a while, you know that I do Ballet Beautiful, and thank goodness there is a version of Ballet Beautiful that's for when you're pregnant. This is actually a pack of workouts for your entire pregnancy. There's workouts for first trimester, and then there's workouts for second and third trimester. And also on each DVD there is a 15-minute stretch, which is really nice. The only difference between this and regular Ballet Beautiful is there are a lot more breaks and stretching, which I did not realize I would need. Like, when I did this the first time, I just kept thinking, wow, she's taking a lot of breaks, but then I was like, I don't think I could keep going. So I'm really glad that there's more breaks in this. I will say that if you don't already do Ballet Beautiful, I would not get the Energized and Elegant pregnancy workout. There's one that's like graceful and something, I can't remember, but that's more for those who haven't done Ballet Beautiful before. It's a little bit easier. Something I got recently that I'm really excited about is a balloon box. I did an unboxing video on our vlog channel, so I will link that down below, and I'm sure there'll be a card up here somewhere. It's basically a monthly subscription box. You put in how many weeks pregnant you are, and they send you products that go along with like where you are in your pregnancy, And they also send you a few baby products, and this can go on up until like your kid is, I think, 2 years old. I can't really remember, but I think that's where it goes to. Even after your kid is born, they send stuff for mom and baby, so that's really nice. Like, you get a little something and there's something for the baby too. Of course, we have already been buying baby clothes. If you follow our daily vlogging channel, then you know that. I have been so excited because we went through such a long planning process that when I finally got pregnant, I was like, baby clothes, I want all this stuff. I have not had to buy a bunch of maternity clothes yet, obviously, because I'm only 11 weeks and I don't really have that big of a bump. It's like barely noticeable, but I have had a lot of bloating, which makes my regular pants like very uncomfortable when I start to get really bloated. So I did buy some maternity pants that were on sale at Old Navy. They're really comfortable and they don't look like maternity pants. I don't know. I really like them, and I can wear them if I use my belly band that I got from Target over them to kind of keep them up, because I'm not quite big enough to hold them up without a belly band. I know a lot of people have been asking if we are going to find out the gender, and yes, we are. We are definitely going to find out the gender as early as possible. I don't know if we're gonna have like a gender reveal party or just do something fun with family. I really don't know yet, but we're definitely gonna find out the gender. We actually already did the Ramsey method gender prediction, I think is what it's called, and it says that it's a girl. If you don't know what that is, it's a method that was developed by doctors, I think, where it predicts if you're having a girl or a boy based on where the baby is in your first ultrasound. And it has to be an ultrasound between like 6 to 8 weeks, I think. So it was perfect. When we got our first ultrasound, I was, I think, 7 weeks, so it worked out. We could get that, and like I said, that one predicted that it was a girl. If you want to know a little bit more about that, we did put it in a vlog when we did that, so you can go check out our vlog channel if you want to see that. I am convinced that it's a girl. I really think it's a girl. I don't know. Obviously I could be wrong, but I really think it's a girl. We are calling our little one Baby E until they're born. We're not going to share the name, even though we're finding out the gender, just because I was like dead set on 2 names, like a boy and a girl name, before I got pregnant. But then after I got pregnant, I was like thinking of different names, and I think neither of us really is for sure like what we want to name. We have ideas, but we don't have our like for sure picks. I ran out of battery, so I had to go get a new one. We actually went through a long process of getting ready to try and get pregnant. At the beginning of 2016, I had my IUD removed. And of course after that, you know, like my hormones had to get back to normal and everything, so I was having a lot of seizures. They weren't controlled very well because everything was kind of changing, and so my medicine levels needed to be changed along with that. And it's kind of like recommended that your seizures are fairly under control before you actually like start family planning and all of that. So I think at the beginning of September was when we were finally able to go and start family planning process. We went to see my neurologist, and he changed my medications. I was on 3 medications before. I was on Lamictal, Zonegran, and ethosuximide. And just to give a little background, I've had epilepsy since I was 8 years old. I have the grand mal seizures, petit mal seizures, and stress-induced seizures, which those cannot be treated with medication. You just kind of have to try to control your stress level. So back to the medicine. He changed my medicines. Because Zonegran and ethosuximide are not safe for pregnancy, so I'm now on Lamictal and Keppra. I'm on pretty high doses of each of those. When we went to see the high-risk doctor, he said that I was taking a lot more than his normal patients would be taking. I'm also on extra folic acid. My neurologist explained that to me at some point, but I honestly can't remember. But I'm on extra folic acid, and then of course I'm taking prenatal vitamins. My medicine was adjusted right before I found out I was pregnant because I had a seizure like I think a week before I got a positive pregnancy test, which I just kind of assumed that was a stress seizure because obviously your body is changing, you know, when you get pregnant, so I just kind of figured it was a stress seizure. But they went ahead and upped my medication a little bit when I had that seizure. Thank goodness I have not had any more seizures since I've been pregnant. I think this actually might be the longest I've gone without a seizure in probably over like a year and a half, something like that. Now, because I'm on all these medications that are considered like safe for pregnancy, but obviously it kind of like ups the chances of something going wrong or the baby being affected, I'm gonna have more ultrasounds than normal. So we will get to see the baby more often, which is exciting. But I'll be having more ultrasounds to make sure the baby is growing how it's supposed to be. Depending on like how things go, I might have to have some extra testing, and my appointments will be much more frequent during, I think, like the middle of the second trimester to the end of my pregnancy. I'll be going a lot more often than you would be in a normal pregnancy. Because I have epilepsy and specifically stress seizures, that kind of like narrows down my options of birth plans. I definitely can't have a natural birth. That was the first thing they told me. They said, please don't tell me that you don't want medication, because that's not really an option for you. So I will have to have like an epidural. I do have a higher chance of having to have a C-section. We actually for a while were thinking we might just do a scheduled C-section, because I'm so terrified of having a seizure while I'm in labor, because I have stress seizures and those can't be controlled. So I'm really scared of that, and then if I have a seizure, having to have an emergency C-section anyway. So we have talked about possibly doing a scheduled C-section because of that. But of course we're gonna try to do just a normal birth plan if possible. I would love to just be able to go into labor naturally and everything go like how it's supposed to go. But that might not be an option depending on how high my stress level is like later in my pregnancy. But that's really something that is just gonna have to be discussed throughout my pregnancy, which I'm totally okay with. But I'm a big time planner, so I wish I knew right now what the birth plan was. I think that is all for the 11-week pregnancy update. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments and I will try to answer them. And now for the moment everyone's waiting for. Actually, probably not. I will show you my baby bump that is super small. So here's the baby bump. I think a lot of it honestly is like bloating, but I do have a tiny bit of a bump.